Bob Campbell is the founder of Yankee Co-op out of Seabrook, New Hampshire, and also is a member of the Chubby Fish Sales and Operation Team, as well as direct-to-restaurant tuna brokers. Bob Campbell is a lifelong New Englander, and he now lives in Rhode Island. He has over 45 years of experience in the Atlantic bluefin fishery, both as a commercial fisherman and for the last 32 years as a bluefin and tuna dealer to diverse U.S. outlets. Bob was trained in bluefin grading, handling, and how to properly pack bluefin at the Tsukiji market in Tokyo, Japan. But he's handled almost all species here, ranging from tuna to lobsters. Although he claims he's semi-retired and employed seasonally by Chubby Fish USA, Bob remains important in the industry. He's a jack of all trades, including sales, logistics, troubleshooting, government reporting for the US, and for an imported fish for the sister company for bluefin in Canada. Having formed Yankee Co-op, one of the most important and longstanding New England's fishermen's cooperative, Bob has extensive knowledge of fish and the seafood business. He's partnered with the Large Pelagics Research Center and Bluefin Lab on ecological and condition research on giant bluefin and other studies relevant to the commercial fisheries and their economic return.
My name is Bob Campbell, and a little bit about my background is that straight out of college, I didn't want to get roped into my field of expertise, so I went fishing in the mid-1970s, and to this day, I'm still in the fishing business. So much for my college career. It sort of didn't mean much of anything, but it did. Anyways, I went to work as a commercial fisherman, and I was a commercial fisherman until the end of 1990, and then I started. I took over a fisherman's co-op in Newburyport, Mass, and 5 years later we merged businesses with the Yankee Co-op in New Hampshire, and got everybody together, got all the fishermen together. We handled brown fish, lobsters, tuna fish. So we've gone from a tuna fishing co-op to we have diversified over the years to handle any product. Basically, our thought was, and my thought is that anything our fishermen could catch, we needed to be able to sell. So right off the bat, we had a little bit of an advantage, I think, over some people who were happy doing what they were doing, catching their fish and selling it, and those businesses that were just handling one or two products. And I think that the key to survival, and especially in this day, is to diversify and handle many different products as you can, and as many different types of product. Meaning that if you're just catching the ahi, you have to be able to do some. It means more work on the fisherman's part or on the buyer's part, but you have to install in your head that no customer is too small. You have to do value added, such as you have to cut loins sometimes. Sometimes you have to freeze. You have to cryovac and freeze. Sometimes you've got to smoke fish. Molly sent me an interesting article on a gentleman that was doing smoking, and that's a huge thing, and especially this year, where the cost of fuel and the cost of getting thing anywhere, the fuel surcharges on the trucks, the surcharges on the air freight. It's a challenge, but especially this year where we have so much going on. We have the COVID, we have the yen at around 129, which is the weakest it's been in a long time. So we really have to get creative to to move the product, and the more product that you can move locally, the better off you're going to be, because it's going to incur less cost. And that's the thing that's got to be in people's head this year, especially with everything that's going on, between the yen, between the fuel, between COVID. It's going to be an interesting year. It's going to, it's going to, mean working harder to maybe make a little bit less. But this year here it's hopefully is going to be. I know we've been saying this. We've all been saying this for a couple of years since we've been in the COVID problem. But I think that this year here is going to be a year that we just try to maintain and build for the future, because I think this year here it's going to be very tough for businesses as well as the fishermen, because they've got to pay increased insurance, increased fuel. I mean, bait's going to increase. Everything is tied in together. And what we did is at Yankee Co-op is we started a retail store. That's another thing that we should have seen earlier, but it's really has taken off now. Especially with COVID, people still have to eat. They're doing very well in their retail stores. They're handling a lot of product that their own fishermen catch, and they're moving it locally. And that's one of the things that we have as buyers. We've been trying to educate fishermen like Dave. Is an educated fisherman, and he knows how to take care of fish and what it takes on our end and his end to move fish. But we need to get to more fishermen. But one of the things that I've found out recently is that I did another one of these Zoom meetings with a bunch of people, a bunch of chefs and a bunch of restaurateurs, and their big thing is that, and this is talking about bluefin, not the ahi, but their big thing was they were all afraid about sustainability. Now, and I was telling this to Molly the other day when I was talking to her, and it's like, that really surprised me, because I thought we as buyers had done a good job of letting our end users and letting the fishermen know that this is a sustainably caught product, and the fishermen have done a great job. Those that are participating, that know how to take care of the fish, that are willing to go the extra mile to take care of the fish. It's sort of left me kind of like stunned that all of these people are reading something that and I will name it Fish Watch, that says that the bluefin are still overfished and on the endangered list. Yet our government, and I don't really support our all of our government sayings, but in December of 2019 they came out with a big story saying that bluefin tuna was sustainably managed and harvested, and it's right there on their website. And I sent it to a couple of people from the other meeting, and it's like, geez, how can you believe without knowing anything what one person says, but not believe what the agency in charge of the management says. But but anyway, so that's another thing that that has to be done, is that everybody from the fishermen to the end users have got to be on the same boat. And you know, there's the fishing takes an entire community to make successful. And that would mean that that the fishermen that go out every day, they've got to buy fuel, they've got to buy bait, they've got to buy ice, they get food for their trips. I mean, it's not just one thing or the other. And get the try to get the community involved, get more people and in on this, educate the end consumers as to what fresh local fish is. And and I mean fresh as in wild caught, not as in fresh frozen that they buy from some of the big chain stores that are raised in farms. And I am totally against anything that's raised in a farm. And I'm sorry if there are some farms that do it correctly and do it the right way, but very, very, very few. And I think that the word has been out. We've done everything from farmers markets all the way through, to try to get word to the people and word to the end users that there is nothing like a fresh, local, wild-caught product. So on that, I am going to end it, unless there's any questions. I appreciate the time and thank Molly for all the work that she's done to help our bluefin, and it's been very rewarding to be part of a little part of helping her and her students do what they do best.
Thank you, Bob, for your thoughts and really important comments. But I want to make sure you at least get 2 minutes at least in on, can you please tell us when you founded Yankee Co-op with members? Can you give us just a couple minutes on the founding of your co-op and why you did it? Because that's an important piece for Kauai. Thank you.
Actually, I was at the Tri-Coastal Co-op in Newburyport, Mass. and they had this dock over in New Hampshire, which was used to stage for the nuclear power plant there. And they were looking to turn that over to the town of Seabrook in New Hampshire, and wanted to know what they could do in order to best serve the locals. And a few days later, because I was at Tri-Coastal in Massachusetts for 5 years, and then it got to the point where fishing had slowed a little bit. The boats that were always coming to us in Massachusetts were now split, because the Yankee Co-op actually started a couple of years before I got there. So I came in to work with the gentleman that was running that place, and after a couple of weeks, he told me that he was leaving. So I I ended up doing a bunch of stuff that I was shooting off the hip with, but this is the whole thing. There's when I left, there was 56 members of the co-op, and everyone was selling their product there and buying their bait, and you know, we handled all sorts of stuff. Like I said, diversification was key and is still key, not only on the wholesale end but also on the retail end. A lot of the probably half of the members of Yankee Co-op are lobstermen, and it's not a huge lobster industry there in New Hampshire, but it's enough that that, you know, that keeps us going, or it kept us going when we didn't. Another thing that we did up until things got a little bit crazy here is that we held a tuna auction, and I was involved with tuna auctions up until you know, up until the mid 2000s, and we had anywhere from 5 to 9 buyers there, and we'd spread the fish out and take samples, and, you know, give them core samples, give them tail cuts, and you know, we had like I said, 5 to 9 buyers. We had domestic buyers there, we had export buyers there, we had, you know, guys that did both, and that was another option that we had.